Country 1047 KKRV. It's Allie checking in with you, and we got another Sharing with the Sheriff going on with Sheriff Mike Morrison. Hello.
Hello.
I almost said good morning, but we're past morning.
We are. We're in the afternoon time now.
Yeah. Are you awake?
I am.
I am too.
Slowly but surely.
And you guys are fully staffed.
We did hit full staffing, and there should be a little bit of a notation there. So we hired Baxter Cecil. He'll be going to the academy here shortly, and we'll be getting our 3 new hires that we hired earlier on this year from the academy on the 27th of next week. But before, the commissioners had authorized us to expand from 57 deputies to 60. We have multiple lateral candidates and entry-level candidates ready to fill that 60th spot. But due to budget constraints, Board of County Commissioners said, hey, we're going to freeze that 60th spot. But we did fill all the other spots. We had the potential to fill that 60th spot as well. I'm working with the commissioners right now, and I think that we've had at least some offline conversations, no agreements, that if we find a qualified lateral candidate, we've always gone in between lateral candidates and entry levels. Entry levels are no law enforcement experience. Laterals are officers or deputies from another agency that would come in, and they get in a little bit quicker out on the street compared to an entry level who has to go through the academy. But we do have several lateral candidates now, so I'm planning on screening some of those, presenting them to the Board of County Commissioners, said, hey, I think we have a qualified candidate here. Would you be willing to unfreeze that 60th spot? And I'm hoping, based off the conversations that we're having right now between the county and the port regarding this TIF, that's certainly been in the news, that maybe we're coming to terms. We'll see. I'm really excited to hear that those two sides are talking with each other. If that happens, maybe that adjusts some of our financial issues and constraints we're having at a county level, and then we can get back up, trying to get back to that, at least what would be their vision of full staffing. I could see us being a little bit bigger in order to meet some of the other challenges we're having here within the county, just for the amount of things that the state asks us to do. But yes, right now, all my positions that I have available are filled for our commissioned deputies, which is outstanding. I understand that's usually a fleeting moment that's gone. We have retirements coming up, and that's always just seems to be the rotation. But we're pretty fortunate. You look at a lot of other agencies across the state. I mean, some are down 23. I've got Pierce County offering $50,000 signing bonuses, Tacoma offering 50, Seattle. We don't offer any signing bonuses. Your bonus is that you're coming here to live in the best county in Washington State, which is Chelan County. Look around, people. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
That's been a big enough of attraction to continue to bring qualified candidates here to our agency, and we're grateful for that. Thank you, citizens, for making that possible.
Oh, thank you. Detectives are fully staffed as well, right?
That's huge. So last year we were asked to freeze one of our detective spots. The commissioner said you can reopen it, and it's important because they take on our high, profile, complex cases, and we have a pretty high closure rate too. About 43% of our major cases are closed, and everyone's like, well, wouldn't that be an F if you were in school? Well, if you look at a lot of other agencies, they're usually single digits, 7% to sometimes teens for higher ends. So 43%, thanks to Sergeant Lewis and his staff for raising that bar and really bringing a lot of closure to some major cases. And you saw that like over the summer too during the Decker case. They were in it. We had our criminal case ready to go if we did go to trial, while they were also working other cases. You've certainly seen us highlighting the Internet Crimes Against Children task force cases where we've been going after child predators. We even had one operation we went out to Liberty Lake to pursue. We are going out and being proactive. We don't want to just wait for people to come to Chelan County. We want to go after them progressively too if they're looking to come to ours. So having this full staffing allows us to do that and be aggressive towards what I would say would be predators, because we don't want them here.
Exactly. I love that. And I feel like we're just hitting all these great bullet points right now because overdoses are down too.
It is. I just talked to the newly appointed coroner, that'd be Earl Crow. Certainly I want to give some recognition to Wayne Harris, just the amount of years that he served for this county and the services he provided. And just the way he did it, just so kind and approachable, and such a tough moment for so many families. It's nice to see that Wayne was able to train Earl up. He's kind of just continued on what Wayne had already been doing. And in talking with Earl this morning, he said, yes, we were down on overdose deaths, which is good. We were down to 21 as a region, 9 for Chelan County. And that kind of piggybacks off what we're seeing as a nationwide trend too. But overall, I think it's just the fact that we are being more efficient in the way we're addressing this. It's not just a law enforcement approach. You have recovery navigators, Catholic Family Charities, other entities here within Chelan County. They're just putting in great work, Cafe as well, and we're providing other options. I mean, we want to get these people help. We don't want to punish them for it, but we understand too, if we don't address it and we don't hold that hard line, it can cause some major issues within our community. So that's why we've been so proactive in trying to address this. Really working some pretty good stuff here with our Board of County Commissioners, specifically Commissioner Overbay. So we were unfortunately told that all state funding, despite it being federally allocated, would not be allowed to go towards drug task forces. So we had zero funding coming into this year. Working with Commissioner Overbay and our other partners too at the city of Wenatchee with our mayor there and our mayor Crawford over at East Wenatchee and of course Douglas County, we've come up with a way to, I believe, look at utilizing opioid settlement funds to continue to fund this so we can move forward and continue to address the problem here, which is great. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Mayor Poyer also, I didn't mention his name and I want to make sure to do that, has been a great advocate for this and supporter. And we just appreciate Douglas County, East Wenatchee, Wenatchee PD, and Chelan County continuing to work with each other and utilizing combined resources in order just to be more aggressive towards some of the problems we're seeing here community-wide, including homelessness. We've been going after that and still trying to provide options. We understand they're in a tough situation, but we also understand, too, our citizens do not want to see what we've been seeing. And I think we've been pretty good at that. And Mayor Poyer, Mayor Crawford certainly have been the ones taking that charge and pushing after it. We talked about it the last time I was on with you, but we're going after those issues we see in our community.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it too, because there's certain times of, the day where I almost avoid going down to certain, areas of town before.
Yeah.
Because it was just sketchy.
No, and you
Just to
shouldn't
be
have to
quite
feel that
frankly.
way. No one should have to
Exactly.
feel that way.
And now it's I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like there's like, okay, you see one or two, but I like how one of the last times we talked, it was just, this is not the place to do that.
No, and if anyone listening to us right now ever feels that when they're out in any part of our community, Douglas County, Chelan County, East Wenatchee, I know they're still part of the same counties we just discussed. Tell us. Let us put the resources on it to deal with that. No one in this community should feel scared or concerned to walk around any part of our town.
Yeah.
So we have more than capable law enforcement officers, men and women, ready to take this challenge on. In addition to other resources, we recognize law enforcement is not the only tool. We will deal with these problems. Mm-hmm. I know that Mayor Crawford, Mayor Poyer, the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, the Chelan County Board of Commissioners are committed to ensuring a quality of life that all of us would expect from this area. This is not Seattle. This is not Portland.
No.
This is Chelan and Douglas County.
Welcome.
We'll maintain it.
I love that. Calls are down. Crime is down.
It is. I mean, this is good news. And, I really have to give credit to the men and women of our agency and, of course, the Wenatchee Police Department, East Wenatchee Police Department, Douglas County. Again, we work collaboratively towards issues. We try to help each other out where we can. We are seeing that, calls are decreasing, and I think that's more of a trend that you're seeing nationwide that's finally started to hit Washington State. In certain areas, there are certain pockets within our state, unfortunately, that are not seeing that same effect. But I think the fact that you're allowing law enforcement to do law enforcement and not restricting it and giving it the tools, resources, personnel that they need to address these is starting to show up. Because not only when we have calls starting to decrease, I know you're wondering, well, if you're asking for more individuals, Sheriff, why are you asking for those if you're seeing calls go down? It's like, this is now giving us an opportunity that we're no longer just a reactive force. We're now a proactive force that in the past we were just trying to keep our head above water and dealing with the problems that were there. Now we've maintained that balance, and now you've seen, even over the last year or so, you saw some in 24 too, we've stabilized that ship, and now we're able to be more proactive and go after issues that we're seeing within our community. If we have a problem residence or other problems, we now have the ability for a discretionary effort, proactive policing, and can go after those. And that is where we start seeing results, and we start really seeing that change in our quality of life, which is already outstanding here, I personally think. But still, I think there's issues that we see. I mean, homelessness, how do we get a hold of that? We see some of the taggings throughout town with the gang taggings. We still have problem residences. We have residences that are nuisance residents that I described with junk vehicles, trash outside, which unfortunately can bring insects, rodents, other stuff to people living next door. And then there are also, we still have drugs. I'd say, despite the fact we only had 21 people that passed away, 21 is unacceptable. That's 21 loved ones, brothers, sisters. Should be zero.
Should be zero.
I mean, that's what we're always aiming for. We'd like to get it. I know that's a very lofty goal, but I think it's something that we need to continue to try to push those numbers down, because I don't want to see anyone's family member, no matter what struggles they're facing, pass away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
it's a horrible thing. And we certainly want to do everything we can to make sure that those individuals are there to enjoy those family moments and be able to just make the most of their lives.
I agree. Good on you guys. Now, speaking of being proactive,
Hmm?
you guys just had some active shooter training up in Leavenworth.
We did, and this is a continuation. When I came into office, I specifically said that I was kind of taken back. You know, I started my career up in Okanagan County with the Omak Police Department. We trained active shooter training multiple times a year. It was a necessity. Like it was a reality that, you know, most likely there was a potential that we could have this happen to us, and we wanted to be prepared. So when I got to Chelan County, I was kind of taken back that we had not done it from 2014 almost up to 2022. No active shooter training, which was surprising. We were a very well trained agency. We really focused on it. It's a high area of importance, but we just didn't have it. So coming in, we brought up instructors from the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Responder Training, which is an active shooter training organization through, I believe the Department of Justice. You had the U.S. Marshal Service also tied in with that, but they instructed some of our deputies to be active shooter instructors. And since 23, we've been doing multiple active shooter trainings throughout the year at different locations throughout the county, just so we're ready. And we were talking about this before we started. You're seeing a case unraveling right now in Uvalde, Texas, and it has to do with the officer who was the first on scene and did not respond as current training would show. Hey, we're going to go in, we're going to take care of the problem, and that's to stop the threat and stop the killing. And there is now a jury weighing in, is that officer going to be liable for not going in and taking action? And I don't know all the details ins and outs of Uvalde, but it did sound in some of the reports that I'd seen that the training they've been provided was an older model where you did stand by and wait until more resources got there. The new one is, no, put on your work boots, get to work, and stop the killing.
Yeah.
Stop the threat. And that doesn't mean go after and kill anybody, but it is stop the threat and do it. I mean, that's why we've trained in de-escalation and we have other tools on board. But I mean, we're going in there to stop the threat, which is what I'd want to see if my family was at a location and an active shooter situation unraveled, or anyone's family that's on air would want to see.
I mean,
we can't stand outside.
No. And I mean, even as a parent of a 8-year-old, it's like if her school is literally a few businesses down, and if I heard something was going on,
yeah,
I mean, I can't say I wouldn't run in.
Well, there were parents down there at Uvalde that said, "Let me in."
That were, so, they were not waiting.
Yeah, our community should not have to be telling us, "Let us in to do the fighting."
Yeah,
no, we'll go in and we'll do the work.
Yeah.
This is what you pay us for. This is what we get trained to do. And so again, you've seen us continuing to emphasize that we will continue to do active shooter training.
I love
just
that.
because I hope it never happens in our region, let alone our state. But if it does, we'll be ready to go.
I love it. I mean, proactive. Again, the word has been coming up, and I
break glass in case of emergency. Let's hope we don't ever have to break the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding. Now, we have this written down in our notes, and it's a mouthful. I'm just going to let you say it. It's the monetization of law enforcement. Can you explain more about that?
The modernization.
Yeah, the
modernization of law enforcement. And yeah,
you did great, though.
Hey, that's the unfortunate part of typing reports for the last 20 years and slowly drifting away from handwriting.
You got Dr. Handwriting. I like
House Bill 1399 and Senate Bill 5974, and this is the modernization of law enforcement. And I've been vocal on this. Many saw my press release I put out, and again, I don't view this as a partisan issue. No matter what, we on the legislative side, the Senate side, local government, we need to work together for what's best for the citizens. One of the areas I have major concern in is the ability for a non-elected board through the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission to have the authority to remove myself as an elected official, the sheriff who was elected by the people of Chelan County, from office for any offense that they feel would not be in alignment for their standards. Now, number one, there already is a standard that can remove a elected official from office. It's called a recall. We've seen it in Benton County recently, not 100 years ago, not 50 years ago, within the last 5 years. And that was Sheriff Hatcher, who was removed by the citizens who elected him from office because he did not deserve that position. They tried to do it again most recently here in Snohomish County with Sheriff Fortney. That was unsuccessful, but ultimately when it came to an election again, Sheriff Fortney was unable to hold on to his position. So the voice of our citizens should never be silenced. We do not need a centralized government. And again, this is not a partisan conversation. This is a conversation for independents, Democrats, Republicans. Your voices matter. Who you elect to put in office matters. And that's the way it should be. That's non-negotiable. It is written in our Constitution. And I'm not going to go off on, the typical constitutional sheriff agenda items like that, because that's not what I'm talking about. It is silencing the voters. This is an effort by Olympia to centralize government, have them control all aspects of it. And I've asked, and I put this in my statement, where does it stop? Do we go after your coroner next? Because I can tell you right now, I was talking to our Coroner Crow this morning, and it is 100% going on as well for him as well, that they want to appoint coroners. Then does it go to your judges, your prosecutors, your board of county commissioners? Do we go after legislators next if they say something that they don't agree with? Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. Do I agree with every single thing that every elected official says? No. But I know the individuals that elected them will hold those individuals accountable. And I've heard some pushback on this. So, Sheriff, you don't believe there should be general requirements for running for office. I do not have issues with general requirements for running for office. If you want me to be over 25, a certified law enforcement officer, and no crimes in my background, I think that's a pretty reasonable request. Yes. Judges have to be certified in certain areas. And yes, that's fine. But again, the citizens get to make the determination still who they elect in that position. And that's what I have pushed back so hard against, because I will not be the sheriff for the remainder of the history of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. I wasn't the first. I won't be the last. And not only do I want to be able to elect who I want as my representative moving on in the future, I think everyone, my neighbors, my kids, my family,
me,
they should, friends, coworkers should have the right to elect who's going to be in office, because we are accountable to the citizens who elect us, not the legislator. And that's where I leave it at. I mean, I don't want to get into political agendas. I've always tried to stay away from those as sheriff. But this is important. This is a violation of our constitutional rights, and this is something that should not be overlooked. And again, I have respect for our senators, our legislators, even the ones that are creating this bill. I still respect them. One of them is a former sheriff, and it's mind-boggling to me to see that he would even push forward with this, because I'm sure he might have had something to say. Had he been in office, then all of a sudden someone's, you're not going to be sheriff anymore.
Right.
This person is. So the
Maybe
citizens
I'm being
have
too
that
candid
decision.
here, but it sounds like he wants his standard. Maybe
I
I'm
am
being
open
too
to
candid.
hypotheticals and conversations, and being an executive board member selected by my peers here last spring of 2025. The Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs has weighed in on this. We are the subject matter experts for this field, because it's not only sheriffs weighing in on this, but also chiefs, because this bill will also affect chiefs. So this will take the right of a mayor away too. An outside board could remove the mayor's decision like, hey, we're not going to go with your chief anymore. We're going to put our own chief in there. No. Give us standards. If you don't want me to be a convicted felon, that's reasonable. I would say one caveat: if you want me to be a certified law enforcement officer, give those individuals at least the 1-year window that's already in place for them to have to go through the academy and become a certified officer. So I still think that is reasonable, and hold us to a higher standard. Like I already feel like we are, and I'll point this out, and we'll transition away from this. We as sheriffs are the only elected officials within Washington State that pass polygraphs, backgrounds, criminal history checks, social media checks. Our standard is head and shoulders above the legislators, the senators, and our own governor.
I was going
So,
to say that's,
yeah. And that's no disrespect to any of those people in those positions, but we already have a higher standard. They can't debate it.
No.
Yeah. I've passed multiple background checks now because I've lateraled to this agency. I've passed multiple psychological exams. I've passed multiple polygraphs. They've gone through my social media history. They've talked to my neighbors. They've talked to my families. They've talked to people who don't like me. And yet we're still in this position. And that's the standard for every other man and woman in uniform too. Mm-hmm. So we're not perfect. I recognize that as law enforcement officers. We're not perfect. But I think we do a pretty good job trying to set a standard, and we certainly hold ourselves to a high standard. So we'll see. I certainly hope that the will and the voice of the people will be heard and not silenced.
I agree, 100%. You guys have been recognized for services by the U.S. Forest Service.
Yeah. Piggybacking off it, since coming into office, I said we have contracts and obligations that we enter into with not only the school board, for our schools that we contract with, school resource officers. We have Public Works for our traffic enforcement unit. We have Washington State Parks for our marine unit. We have CJTC and WASPIC for our behavioral health unit. And we also have the U.S. Forest Service for our Forest Service deputies. Every single program that I've cited, outside of our SROs, I mean, our school districts have acknowledged the importance of them, and it's been successful. But you've looked at our drug task force that we used to get federal funding for them. They were federally recognized. Our marine program has been recognized multiple times through the state. Our behavioral health unit was also recognized by the state, CJTC. You've seen our productivity for our traffic enforcement unit up to highest level. The last one here is our U.S. Forest Service. Most recently here, I asked that we have 2 deputies assigned to this because I recognize we have such a large area within Chelan County that is within the Forest Service. 87% of our county not accessible by road, but we have a lot of people that go out there and recreate. And our 2 deputies who've been assigned to that, Deputy Seabright, Deputy McLeod, raised the bar, provided a level of service that had not been seen before through the Forest Service and our Sheriff's Office. And we were just recognized by the Forest Service for that increased effort. Last year, they gave us $20,000 extra based off some funding that they were able to secure. And as I understand right now, they're trying to secure an additional $25,000 on top of that. Now, when you're an agency that's already working with your Board of County Commissioners to try to find additional funding, I've got a current request out with our feds through Congresswoman Schreier's office, and I'm putting one in with Representative Steele through local community project funding to the state. You're constantly looking for ways to fund the agency because despite financial challenges, service is still expected to be there, and there can't be a dip in it. So when I see our deputies stepping up and delivering at a level that the U.S. Forest Service is like, that's amazing service you guys are providing us right there. Thank you. And I mean, it's no secret. We talked about it quite a bit last year. The feds were cutting positions. There was nobody working out there in the woods outside of one park ranger for 900 plus square miles. The Sheriff's Office had no choice but to step up because calls were still coming in. Deputy Seabright, Deputy McLeod did it. We got the recognition. I believe we're going to get some additional funding because of it. And it just shows another partnership that was recognized for the outstanding work they do. And that's not for me as sheriff. That's for the deputies who have made this happen. And again, Seabright and McLeod made it happen. Seabright just finished his 5-year rotation. Really appreciate his service. Deputy Sutherland's now stepping in, and he'll continue to carry that on.
That's really awesome.
Excited about it.
It's amazing how dense and huge our county is,
but
and
beautiful.
But unaccessible via vehicle, like you mentioned.
Correct. That's why we got snowmobiles, Sea-Doos, boats, quads, helicopters.
I was just going to say the helicopters and everything.
We need a lot of that to get to certain parts of our county because so many other people want to come here and recreate it, enjoy it. But then it turns into a lot of the search and rescues we talk about.
Get hurt? No.
Well, unfortunately, accidents happen. We recognize that's not always intentional, but by state law, the Sheriff's Office is responsible for all search and rescue efforts in the county. End of conversation. Yeah, we have to go do it.
Yep, it's very true. Do you guys, the city contracts have been signed?
True, and I want to thank our partnering cities, Leavenworth, Cashmere, Entiat, and Chelan. This was not an easy conversation. These are tough financial times for everybody. The cost of law enforcement is going up. That's not a secret. I wish I could control it. I wish I could subsidize it for our cities and make it more accessible and reasonable because they recognize, and each city said this, law enforcement is imperative. It is a resource, a service that we need to have. But I get too, they have a limited pot just like we do. And how do you find funds to continue to fund everything? Because each one of these cities also wants parks. They want clean water. They want clean streets. And they want services outside of your animal control. So when you're trying to figure out which bill are we going to pay, and it kind of reminds me of one of our former presidents out there campaigning, and I think it was Joe the plumber. They were sitting at the table and trying to figure out ways like, how are we going to get our money to cover all of our bills? That's what every single city is doing as well. And it was not an easy decision for them to agree to these terms, and we recognize that, but we're appreciative. And as I point out too, if you look over the stats for 23, 24, 25, not only did we meet the standards that were set by those cities, we exceeded them because I felt we owed it to them as a sheriff's office that we should be delivering higher service if we can make that happen because we have limited resources as well, and we push for that. And I said that I would do our best with our agency to ensure that we are continuing to exceed that standard. And I just want to thank our contract cities for having faith in us and allowing us to serve them for another 3 years. That's how long our contracts are for.
Nice. Well, there you go. I mean, stuff like that is tough, but you got her done.
Well, it wasn't alone. The cities made it happen. And I get that there were some very uncomfortable conversations with their council members, and I appreciate it. I know that wasn't easy, and we'll do our best to protect and serve their citizens.
Well, thank you. Along with protecting and serving, I'm going to go a little bit out of our bullet points here, but you guys got new tasers.
We did. I really pushed hard to make sure that our deputies have equipment that is suitable for what we're asking them to do. I mean, the state has put in so many mandates for de-escalation, making sure we have 2 deputies there at a time. So we've upped the staffing. We've got them better vehicles. We've got blood trauma kits in every single one of our cars so we can deal with people who are injured, trying to implement new AEDs in all of our new patrol cars moving forward. Also have this grant with Congresswoman Schreier. I've asked for $700,000+ for de-escalation tools because we want more tools available for our deputies, whether it be a 40mm launcher, bullet wrap that shoots out Kevlar webbing to try to wrap someone up, kind of like Spider-Man.
Cool.
You'll have the wrap system. You'll have the pepper ball guns too that have glass breakers and also can fill the car up with gas. You got these new tasers too that the Board of County Commissioners have authorized, and the previous one were like new tasers when I was just coming in, the X26. So in 2006, when I was just starting my career, like, check out this sweet X26. They usually got about a 10-year shelf life. So fast forward here, 2026, 20 years later, I still personally, because I want to make sure our deputies have the newest and greatest first, still have that X26. It was only supposed to last 10 years. It's been 20. It was time to cycle those out, and they are an important tool. So having them now out with the deputies with our new body cameras, we've talked about technology and equipment. We're going to continue to make sure they're properly equipped. And I think that we have some of the best equipment, not only in our region, but in our state. And I think that's one of the reasons, too, that a lot of people want to come and work for our agency, because we're not the highest paid in Washington State, but we do have nice vehicles, good equipment, and everything they'd want. I mean, we've already provided shields, new stop sticks for spike strips for the cars, the blood trauma kits, as we also discussed, the entry kits as well, body cameras. We've modified our in-car cameras, too. I think we're one of the first agencies in the region to have in-car cameras and body cameras.
Wow.
In conjunction. Chief Reinfeld, Chief Johnson, Sheriff Morris, whoever his replacement's going to be. If I'm mistaken on that comment, please let me know. But overall, it's just that we want transparency and we want our deputies to be properly equipped to handle any situation. So hopefully we'll get approved. I know it passed. Our request for the non-lethal had passed the House. The committee had been up for a vote last week with the Senate on the federal level. And hopefully we'll hear back soon if we got that or not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always call them zzz, zzz.
Yeah. Our little glow sticks, I would say.
A little powerful glow stick.
Yeah, I would say that overall, I mean, you continue to watch technology advance. I mean, you've got these real-time crime centers now being introduced in a lot of cities too. And I was just talking to the sheriff for Spokane County about his agency and their center. And they said that this is the wave of the future. Same with flock cameras, and I know there's a huge conversation going on right now about those. I'm hoping the legislator will help us get a clearer picture coming out of this legislative session of what do the people of Washington State want regarding this new technology. But it is a game changer. But I understand, too, we've got to respect privacy as well. I think we're already doing without our policy and procedures, but we'll wait and see what the new laws will be.
I like it. That we had some crazy flooding.
We did have some, like, you know, your 100-year flooding, 500-year flooding terms that came out. Atmospheric river tore through Chelan County. I would say we did take some pretty serious hits, not as bad as some other counties on the west side, but certainly the west end of our county, Leavenworth, Plain, Lake Wenatchee, Stehekin, and you looked at Holden Village, Lucerne, they took a beating. Like there was some major damage.
I mean, I live in Cashmere, and I know I was not even in the eye of the storm, if you will, but the flooding that reached down into Cashmere in itself was just like, what?
It did. Yeah, Cashmere took a hit. I mean, you
insane.
saw their roads flooding. Their city was scrambling to do best they could to control that flooding. They did a great job. But this is something that a lot of citizens haven't seen in a long time.
My significant other, his grandfather lives up in Leavenworth, and the water rising was right across the road from his driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that was a lucky case.
Our Lake Wenatchee fire was utilizing boats to get to people's houses to evacuate them.
Yeah.
You see that on television, not in Chelan County, but we dealt with it.
I saw a picture of a plane, and I just thought, is this AI? But it
Yeah.
wasn't.
No, we've had some great conversations with Senator Murray, Senator Cantwell, Congresswoman Schreier, and of course, also our state level too. Had some great conversations with Governor Ferguson and his staff. coming up with resources as quick as possible to help people recover from this, trying to secure FEMA funding. Steakin, we had the new water treatment plant that was washed away up there. We still have some
I have
rebuilding
a
to
brother
do.
that lives up Stehekin too, and it's
We're not out of the woods yet. We still have some work to do. We need to get Steakin stabilized and ready to open up this summer. I mean, we want tourists to continue to come up there, and hopefully getting the governor and some of our federal senators up there and Congresswoman would be good.
Yeah, that'd be very good. I want to end this with something that we were talking about off air that was really impactful, and I didn't realize that this was even an option. But it's called Blue Bridge.
It is. Yeah, and so this just came online December 2nd, 2025. So we're joining Douglas County, East Wenatchee. Wenatchee PD already had this program in place, but it's something new for us, and I think it's unique. It's innovative. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to addressing public safety by fostering what they call like greater public trust in law enforcement. And it gives us the ability to issue cards out to our deputies to help deal with individuals that, maybe dealing with homelessness or some other kind of criminal behavior that we may be able to curtail. And we talked about an example, and we'll be highlighting it coming up here soon. Like, let's say we have an individual who is dealing with like a domestic dispute when we get there. And we know it's like, hey, you don't have any groceries here. You don't have any diapers for your kid. And they kind of say, well, this is the situation we're going through right now. We just don't have the funds to do it. It gives our deputies the ability to be like, hey, you want to know what? Let me go get you some groceries or some diapers. I know that there's been some great cases out of East Wenatchee as well. Like, hey, really could have used a bike this year for Christmas if that was the case. And it gives deputies the ability to help address problems and needs while they're on scene. Now, the big caveat and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is this is 100% based off of donations. We've got this on our page. We have the QR code up. The funds go directly to Blue Bridge. The Blue Bridge Fund has our account set aside, so all that fund just goes directly in there, and then we just continue to utilize it, and it's filled by the community. You're going to see one of our success stories for this program already coming up here in the next week, and I'd ask for the community to take a look at it. Please read through our posts. Please look up Blue Bridge, see what it is. Don't just take my word, but overall, I mean, it does provide an opportunity for us to get outside of it. I mean, it can help us buy clothing, transportation, even repairs for vehicles. Like, let's say we get someone going through town and they blew a radiator. So we're like, hey, I think, you don't have the funds to do it. Let us pay for the radiator. And it's just helping people who need help and are down on their luck right now, because we do great during Christmas time. December, we've got the toy drive, which I just got a card from them, really successful operation there. Then we have the Shop with a Cop events, and we're helping families that are in need. I even went over and did Forgotten Children in King County over there just to help out. I had some friends that were associated with that and said, hey, would you be willing to come over? And great. We think about all these families that are in need during December, but what about the other 11 months out of the year? And this really gives us an opportunity to help meet their needs. And again, we're not trying to stabilize them or support them. We're just trying to help them get up, get moving, and at least give them a fighting chance to overcome some of the challenges they face. And I really would hope the community would take a look at it, consider donating, because this is a good program. If we don't get donations,
again,
we got to shut it down.
That's Blue Bridge. If you're trying to catch what the word was or what the organization is, it's Blue Bridge, and make sure to check that out. That's super important for everybody.
It is.
And for you guys to be able to help support those in need, when in need, you can.
Yeah, it helps us break down barriers too. We're just not always there to arrest people.
Yeah.
We want people to get better. We talked about, individuals dealing with drug crises too. We don't want to arrest our way out of the situation. If need be, that's what we're there to do. But overall, we want to give them different alternatives. Thanks to our Recover Navigators for really stepping up and doing that. And thanks to Blue Bridge for giving us some other tools to do this. Our behavioral health unit also coming out there to deal with people in crisis. So we're just not going to the philosophy that was utilized when I went to the academy, make them do it. So, we have better tools. We've evolved, we've advanced, we utilize de-escalation, communication, and really helping our community and not just trying to punish them.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sheriff Mike Morrison. We appreciate you here at Country 104.7 KKRV, but as a citizen of Chelan County, we appreciate you.
As a citizen of Chelan County, I also appreciate the men and women for East Wenatchee, Wenatchee PD, Douglas County, Chelan County Sheriff's Office, because I have my off time too, and I feel very comfortable walking around our community. I hope everyone feels that way. If not, I want to hear about it. But I'm grateful for where we live. This is an amazing place, and I'll continue to give everything I've got to make it that way.
Well, thank you, and
Thanks.
Thank you again. We appreciate you and everybody in law enforcement.
Absolutely.
You always touch base on that whenever we get to talk, and I love that humbleness about you. So thank you.
The most noble profession. I will continue to echo that. Any woman or man who puts on the uniform, nothing but respect from us. So just make sure you uphold that and know that the public puts a lot of trust in you.
On that note, thank you again, Sheriff Mike Morrison. We will talk with you again next month.
Sure.
And this has been Sharing with the Sheriff, January edition.
Yeah, actually, I just ran into Jammin at a most recent event, and I really appreciate Brookside Funeral Home's support.
Yes, thank you
for this as
Brookside.
well, and Jammin as well. Just it was great to see him and his family enjoying an outing where we got to meet in a social setting. We don't typically get to meet on that level, so I'll put out a special thanks to him and of course Brookside for their work they do too. Just dealing with I guess citizens in a tough part of their life, and
Very tough.
yeah, appreciative of that.
Thank you, Brookside Funeral Home. And thank you again, Sheriff Mike Morrison. We appreciate you. And thank you for listening to Sharing with the Sheriff.